For shared reading today, we're learning to select, navigate, and read digital text to locate and summarize relevant information. So yesterday, to be successful, we were able to identify the purpose of the text, which was to inform the audience about biomes and the plants and animals you would find there. We also were able to explore and navigate the digital text by using its features. So we noticed that we could click on words, we noticed that we could see headings and subheadings. We found some glossaries and index at the back of the book. We noticed that we could click on the side of the page to turn the page. We had a blurb there that helped us to be able to understand. Today, we're going to be able to identify the structure of a text. Now, remember, when we're talking about a structure of the text, we're talking about how the author has organized their ideas. So as I'm reading the text today, I want you to think about, is the author providing a description? Is it providing a sequence or a chronological order of something? Is it telling us a problem and then a solution? Is it giving us a cause and effect? Or is it comparing and contrasting two or more things? So some of the things that we're looking for around that text structure is going to help us later on in the week when we have to do our summarizing, because we can summarize using the structure of the text. So let's go into our text today. So we've got understanding biomes. Chapter 1, what are biomes? What is the climate like where you live? Is it hot or cold, dry or rainy? Think about the animals and plants that are native to your area. You might not have realized it, but the climate where you live and the plants and animals that live there put your community in one of Earth's biomes. I find this part of the text really interesting because it's actually giving me a really clear understanding around what a biome is. Yesterday, I was thinking, using the evidence from the text, that a biome was an environment, but this is telling me it's a little bit more than that. So it's actually telling me that a biome is dependent on the climate of where we live. So depending on our climate in the area of the world, depends on what animals and what plants live there, which means that there's different biomes over in the world. I'm going to keep on going. Biomes are large regions on Earth with similar climates, plants, and animals. The environmental conditions in a biome, its temperature and precipitation, determine which plants and animals can live there. So we've noticed here that woolly spider monkeys of the tropical rainforest would not survive in a dry desert biome, just as the antelope of the grassland is not adapted to conditions in a tropical rainforest. Terrestrial biomes occur on land. These include forests, grasslands, savannas, deserts, and tundras. Aquatic biomes are the freshwater and saltwater biomes. Freshwater biomes include lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and wetlands. The largest biome on Earth, however, is composed of salt water. It is the oceans. Together, the oceans can cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. Okay, so straight away it's telling me that there are two main categories of biomes. So one category is terrestrial, and within the terrestrial there are forests, grasslands, savannas, deserts, and tundras. And within the aquatic biomes there's the freshwater and saltwater. So you've got your lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and wetlands, and then you've got your oceans. So that's actually giving me a bit of an idea around when we've got this this map of the Earth, and I can see that we've got lots and lots of different biomes within our world. We've got our aquatic biomes, Everglades, which is another aquatic biome. We've got tropical rainforest, which is that terrestrial biome. We've got our deserts, which again is a terrestrial land biome. And we've got our grass, or on the, so this is the grasses and lichens that grow on the Arctic tundra. So I know Arctic is up in where there is ice, so up in the north end of our world. So that's interesting, that different types of biomes there. So already in my head, I'm thinking, and I'm going back to this text structure, and I'm looking at the definition of some of these structures. I know I'm not really comparing and contrasting at the moment. It's not giving me that information. I'm not seeing something that's happened and the impact of that. I'm not seeing a problem and solution. I'm thinking now between description and sequence or chronological order. So I'm just going to go into the definition of those. So description describes a topic, an idea, a person, or a thing by giving specific information about it. Or a sequence or chronological order presents ideas, steps in a process, or a list of items. So straight away, I'm going and I'm thinking that this text structure is a description. It's giving us some information. Even thinking about that graphic organizer where we've got that main idea in the middle. So I could even have like biomes, and then branching off from that, I could have terrestrial biomes, aquatic biomes, and then I could then pull off from that again and talk about all of those different terrestrial biomes and all those different aquatic biomes. So having the structure of a description has been a really important way that the author has wanted to communicate their ideas. And they felt that a description was the best way of doing that. And I would agree. I would agree that using text structure has allowed the author to achieve their purpose, which is to inform their audience about what a structure, about what a biome is. Now, I'm wondering if we continue to go, whether the structure will stay the same, because it's broken up in those chapters. So I'm wondering if further on in the chapters that we go, whether the structure changes based on the purpose that the author wants to achieve. Interesting. So if we go back to our success criteria, we were able to identify the structure of a text. And I think, like I said, it's really important that the structure supports the purpose that the author is trying to get to. Okay, so for your task today, for your independent task, you're going to watch the following video called Introducing Informative Text on ClickView. And what happens on the video is actually has some stopping points. So for this task, you'll need to log in and just use, so click on that link and you're just using your student email. So I'm just going to go on here. It hasn't asked me to log in, but you just put your student email at parastu.catholic.edu.au and it's going to bring you to this text. Now, what you'll notice is down the bottom there are these stopping points. And what happens is the text actually stops and it asks you a question and you have to write down the answer. So remember, extended answers, adding lots of detail and doing as much as you can with that. And then once you finish, you press save and continue. I'll just put some things in there. You obviously answer the question. It will keep going.
Sometimes it can be
give
hard
you information, and then it will stop and it will give you some more questions. Okay, so just work through that for today. When you have finished, I want you to come back on here and I want you to finish your 2 stars and a wish based on your success criteria. So make sure you're checking your success criteria and what you need to do to be successful.